I am your boss. I pay your bills. What comes to your mind when we hear this statement? Fear, intimidation. This simple statement carries the weight of an entire culture of power dynamics. Do you know a boss like that? Yes? Me too. I know one. Let's call him Mr. Boss. He loved saying, I am your boss. I pay your bills. To silence and intimidate his workers whenever they wanted to be heard. However, fate intervened. Mr. Boss had a daughter. She wanted to be a journalist. Mr. Boss had connections. She got the job she wanted. But guess what? Many times Mr. Boss found his daughter crying and complaining that her boss is a tyrant. He never listened, never treated his employee with respect, and loved saying, I am your boss. I pay your bills. It was a pivotal moment in his life. Mr. Boss realized how his employees really saw him through the eyes of his daughter. From then on, every time he said, I am your boss, I pay your bills, he thought of his daughter crying. He realized that his idea of power was wrong. He saw training on empathy and inclusivity at work. He became my client. And by helping him, I helped a dozen of his employees and their families. If only all the Mr. Boss had a daughter. Imagine a world where a workplace is not just a source of income, but a hub of inspiration, respect, and growth. Is that possible? Work that makes you happy, that helps you grow as an employee and a human being. Imagine living in the happiest country in the world. And you might be thinking, yeah, a tropical paradise. But no, the happiest country in the world for 6 months, it's night. There is no sun. And in the winter, it gets to minus 50 degrees. Minus 50 degrees. I can't even imagine what that is. And yet the country of Finland has topped the happiest country in the world index for the last 6 consecutive years. Do you know where Namibia is? In the world happiest index. Namibia, with its beautiful sunny land and full of majestic animals, at the bottom. Only a few countries are unhappier than us, Namibians. How is that possible? Study shows that to be truly happy in life, one must be happy at work. It's that important. Research shows that diverse and inclusive workplaces are more likely to foster happiness among employees. The key seems to be work where you are cared for and where there's a culture of cultivating empathetic leadership. Empathetic bosses create workplaces where trust and open communication flourish. It's not just about leading. It's about connecting on a human level, showing respect, grace, and love. How can we achieve this? Because if in Finland it's possible, in Namibia we can do it too. But you might be thinking, we are very far from it. We must start our journey now. What are the steps that we should follow? There are 3 simple steps. Step 1, promoting inclusivity. To achieve happiness in workplace, we must create an environment where everybody feels welcome and feels valued. Step 2, providing equal opportunities. Fair access to opportunities for career growth and development is fundamental for workplace happiness. Step 3, empowering employee voices. Giving employees a voice in decision-making and addressing their concerns is vital for a happy and inclusive workplace. 3 simple steps: opportunity, inclusivity, and voice. Is that possible? Let's take a look at a real-life world example of a company that took these steps to embrace inclusivity and inclusion. Mary Barra is the CEO of General Motors. In 2014, she became the first female CEO of a major automaker. She made inclusivity and inclusion her top priority, with the goal of making GM the most inclusive company in the world, especially for women. She launched initiatives to increase the number of female leaders, mentoring programs, leadership programs, and scholarship for female employees to pursue further education and career growth, ensuring that female employees receive equal pay for equal work. Do you see? Inclusivity, opportunity, and voice. And it worked. Her commitment to these principles not only benefited GMs, but also set an example for the automotive industry and beyond, highlighting the importance of gender diversity in leadership roles. Can we do the same? Let us step in the world of inclusivity. Here, every voice is valid, and diversity is not a buzzword. It's a lived reality. Let us take the first step, embracing inclusivity. It's about recognizing the strength in our differences and creating spaces where everybody feels seen and heard. Ever since I was young, and now as a mother, I always wanted to be heard. And today, I am here. My philosophy is everybody deserves to be heard, regardless of their race, religion, or beliefs. How about we create this at our workplaces when nobody feels left out? We have seen this world is possible and could be the beginning of the end of most toxic work environment where one does not have a voice. We can be the change we want to see. As a Black young mother, this issue deeply matters to me on a personal level. And I refuse to stand back and watch in silence. This is not the kind of a world I envision for my children. silence and inaction grants power to the oppressor and make us, the silent observer, just as guilty. Thus, I choose to challenge. I choose to use resources and opportunity at my disposal to break the chain of modern oppression. I choose to use my voice to eliminate exploitation. I choose to pick up the baton passed on by my forefathers and foremothers to continue the fight for sustainable emancipation. What about you? Do you want to create a better world for your children? As we conclude this journey of these transformative ideas, I want to imagine a world and a Namibia where the phrase, "I am your boss, I pay your bills," have no place. Empowering employee voices. And we are not just changing our workplaces. We are reshaping our world and our country for the better. Imagine the impact of a workplace where every voice matters and where empathy is a guiding principle. Happiness in workplaces is attainable when we prioritize diversity and inclusion. This world is not a dream. This Namibia is not a dream. It's a vision we can make a reality, one workplace at a time. I challenge each one of you to take a concrete step toward making your workplace happier, more inclusive, and more diverse today. Together we can make a difference. Thank you for joining me on this journey of transformation.